Mondays with Mark Allen. Welcome back, everybody. Sam Laidlow, he won Ironman World Championship in Nice, France, just this past September. Youngest guy to ever win the race, ever to win the Ironman World Championship, 24 years old. That sparked a lot of conversation. People are saying, oh, I don't know if this is healthy, to focus on Ironman that early. It's better to kind of, when you're younger, do short races and then build as you get older into 70.3 and maybe into Ironman later as you get into whatever, maybe your late 20s, something like that, because it's dangerous to race Ironman at 24. I would disagree, and here's why. Look at the people who have come up with that progression. I can list a lot of them who did that short distance to long distance and got injured anyway, got burned out anyway, had problems making it to races because there was something going on with their body. Who, for example, Alistair Brownlee, dual gold medalist, two-time gold medalist, moved up to 70.3 Ironman distance racing. He's had injury after injury after injury. What about Javier Gomez? Amazing short course athlete, moved up, and he's had a long stretch where he hasn't been racing with heart issues. He's back racing, fortunately, but he went that progression and it didn't work. What about Jan Frodeno, our almost retiree Jan Frodeno, 42 years old, long career, gold medalist in Beijing, moved up to 70.3, has won that, has won Ironman, perfect progression, short to long. He's had injury after injury after injury, or things that have caused his body to break down in the middle of the race. Ironman 2017 ended up walking a lot of the marathon because his back seized up on him. He had a 2018, he had a fractured hip, couldn't even show up at the start line. So clearly, just because you start short and go long doesn't mean that you're going to be bulletproof or you're going to be injury-free. What about the opposite? People that did not do that progression. I can list a bunch of them. What about Paula Newby-Fraser? She just got into the sport, right away was doing Ironman, winning, won 8 Ironmans, never had a long period where she was out of it because of injury or illness or burned out or whatever. Aaron Baker, same thing. Myself, the first Ironman that I did, I was 24 years old in Kona, 1982. Raced 15 years, did 12 Ironmans in Hawaii and a bunch of other ones everywhere else. I also did short races, short and long, all at the same time. Maybe it's even the worst combo, who knows? But I never missed any races because of being injured. And to this day, 65, knock on wood, all my parts work. Everything works. So what's the thread here? Some people started short, went long, they didn't, their bodies broke down on them. Other people started long, did short and long at the same time, and had no problems. Is it genetics or is it training? I think the secret, regardless of whether you're racing short or long, is that you have to build in enough recovery. Recovery on a day-to-day basis, week-to-week basis, year-to-year basis. From the end of one season to the next, there has to be enough recovery. What about the athletes who never went long and always raced short? Look at this year's people on the sidelines. Flora Duffy, not a year for her. Georgia Taylor Brown, not a year for her. Olympic distance specialists, 2 of the best in the world. Maybe not enough recovery. It was easier to have enough recovery when I was racing because there were less race options. But now there's amazing races taking place all the time. Olympic distance, 70.3, PTO races, Ironman distance races. My word to the pros, my word to anybody who's trying to race a lot, to be at the top. It doesn't matter the distance that you're doing that's going to make your time in the sport inherently dangerous or not. It's how you do it. Recovery is key. I race 7 to 9 times a year. I only raced 1, sometimes 2 Ironmans a year, a couple long distance races like Nice, France, a couple 70.3s, and a bunch of Olympic distance races, and some short running races in the off season. But I also took a long off season from basically the end of October, middle October, whenever Ironman was, until just after the first of the year, I did nothing structured. Most athletes now take 2 or 3 weeks and then they're back at it. Not enough time, especially if you've been pushing yourself really hard. During the year, I did less speed work, a lot more base training than a lot of the other athletes. So my body was in a low stress, quick recovery state most of the year. And then when I did do my speed work, I made sure that I was recovering from it. Yes, I did push over the edge. Yes, I got tired. Yes, I did get burned out. But there was nothing that was lingering, nothing that got in the way of great racing. So word to the wise, the key to racing great, short, middle, long, short and long all at the same time, building from one to the other, is make sure you recover. Mondays with Mark Allen. Let me know what you think on this topic.